Hi, and welcome to Commitment to Kids. My name is Becky, and Commitment to Kids is a show that is aimed towards empowering families and caregivers with the knowledge and the skills needed in order to enhance their ability to care for children within their local communities. Today's topic on Commitment to Kids is helping caregivers make the most out of reading with children 30 minutes a day. We will be discussing various tools and tips to best utilize those techniques in order to help children gain the literacy skills needed to grow and succeed in the classroom. Today, there are 3 guests that will be sharing and discussing which literacy techniques are essential to helping caregivers and children prepare for school. Today, we have Bridget Purdy, early care literacy expert. We have Kathy McDonald, kindergarten teacher, and Aisha, mother and child advocate. Time and again, studies have shown that reading to children at least 30 minutes a day is critical to successful performance in school. Facts that have been addressed include the following. 2/3 of students who cannot read proficiently by the end of 4th grade will end up in jail or on welfare. Literacy is a learned skill. Children whose parents cannot read or write tend to grow up to be illiterate as well. 1 child in 4 grows up not knowing how to read. And low literacy skills is linked to higher dropout rates in the school system. Hi, Bridget.
Hello.
Welcome to Commitment to Kids. Now, what suggestions do you have for parents reading to their children to best optimize that 30-minute time frame?
Well, I think because we are, once again, dealing with very young children, you might want to break that 30 minutes up into 3 different portions throughout the day.
Oh,
because,
that's an option.
It's an option because their attention span is very limited. They are about 7 minutes is on the average for a child of this age. So you might want to break it up. Therefore, they're more engaged in the text. However, if the child seems little antsy, or it might not be the perfect opportunity to read to them, then just put the book down and follow the lead of the child, because we want to make reading just not only engaging but also fun. And once again, it should be a very nurturing experience. And if parents tend to push the issue of reading, then the child will become frustrated and they won't want to participate.
Yeah, we see that a lot with parents' attitudes and beliefs themselves towards literacy. And we also have found that if they're uncomfortable with reading themselves, then they're not necessarily going to promote that into the home environment.
Exactly.
Which leads me actually to my next question here. What can parents do at home to promote literacy?
Well, there's a number of things that parents can do. We just talked about engaging the child, making sure that the child is engaged. But also, I think one of the major factors that can influence children's future reading is having parents model to their children. They need to see their parents reading, whether it's a newspaper, a magazine, and they need to see them reading a variety of texts, whether it's reading in the market or reading as you're driving through the streets. The world is surrounded by text, so reading is just not limited to that 30-minute time frame. Reading should be integrated throughout the whole day.
Very good. Well, thank you. That was
Thank
a
you.
wealth of information that you were able to provide even within a short period of time. Very good. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Rebecca.
Welcome to Commitment to Kids.
Thank you.
We're so excited to have you join us.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, good. We have a few questions we want to ask based on your expertise as a kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
What tools and tips can parents use at home to optimize that 30-minute time, in addition to just sit down, be quiet, I'm going to start the book, I'm going to end the book, and you just listen? We know there's so much more to that. So share that with us.
Some of the tips, I think, would be pointing to the words as you're reading, and to make that really swift return sweep, and keeping track with your words. So as you're reading the words, pointing along, and so that their eyes are getting used to that focus and tracking back to the next line of print. Also, I think it would be It's really helpful to engage the child, and at the end of the story, ask questions. Also, to get just great literature books. There's so much fun things out there, and there's new books all the time. Rhyme. We used to think of the 3 R's as being reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yes.
Now it's rhyme, rhythm, and repetition. Hearing those books over and over and over again, and always let your child choose the books that they want to hear, because those are the ones that they're getting confident with and that they're able to participate in too, and encourage that reading with you while you're doing it too. If they know what the pattern is in there, encourage them to join in. And at those times just say, oh, I'm going to stop because you know that part, so I'm going to let you read that, and then we'll read some parts together.
Very good. Now, what tips and tools do you suggest to the child care providers to make the best usage of that 30 minutes when they're reading to the children in their programs?
I think some things that they can incorporate into that is involving the child actively in the reading. It's one thing to sit, I mean, we love when a child can come in and sit down attentively with their hands in their lap and listen to those stories, but we also want them to be able to relate to those stories, to share those experiences, to have those be meaningful to them. So some of the things that they could do in a child care program would be to not only just read the story, but find a way to maybe act it out or sing it, or just get the kids more involved. I mean, if they're just sitting and listening, a lot of times it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and then when we're asking questions again, they don't have an idea of what we want from that. So maybe stopping periodically and just checking for understanding and letting the child share some information that they're getting from the book as well.
Okay, so when you're saying actively involved, can you provide an example of maybe what that looks like?
Well, just, I mean, like for
flannel board stories, puppets.
Oh, sure. And also, I mean, I love to sing and dance with my class. So just good stories like The Three Little Pigs. There's multiple versions of that on CD. We have one by Lori Berkner that's just amazing. So the kids get to, we have them, the group of wolves and the pigs in their little houses. So after we read the story, then they choose which place they want to be, and then they get to go around the room visiting the straw house and the brick house and the stick house, and it's really sweet. And also, a lot of those stories will change an ending a little bit. So, you know, the wolf doesn't always get eaten. Instead, he runs to the lake. You know, he burns his bottom and has to run to the lake and put it out. And they think that's so funny. So just, you know, there's a lot of ways to take one good piece of literature and just explode it into a lot of different things and making it become more personal to the child.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate your suggestions that you have from a kindergarten perspective. And thank you again for joining us on Commitment to Kids.
Well, thank you for doing such a wonderful service.
Hi, Aisha.
Hi, Rebecca.
Welcome to Commitment to Kids.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity that you allowed me to be here.
What do you do specifically at home to help promote literacy?
Oh, wow, we do a lot of things.
Such as?
My boys love to read. We love to read. We have tons of books. We go to the library. They love to pick out their own books. We look at the colors of the books. They love to look at the pictures and describe all the pictures in the books. What else? We love to sing. We do a lot of the singing DVDs, things like that. We even make up our own songs sometimes, just of different objects in the house. We also, me and my husband, incorporate different educational, I guess say video games like Leapfrog or like a Leapster, some things like that,
right,
to also help when we're not available all the time to be with the children. So that also helps.
So when you're reading during that 30 minutes a day with your children, do you do it all within 30 minutes? Do you break it apart? And when you are reading during those 30 minutes, what kind of things do you talk about within the book, such as the characters and the settings?
It's never just a straight 30 minutes ever with my kids. Never. We sometimes will break it up. You know, we'll do a story before dinner or when they come home from school, or at nighttime is usually the ideal time for reading a book. But it's never 30 minutes. It's always an hour plus with them. So I try to start early just so we're not staying up late. But we talk about the setting of the book. Before we even open the book, just the cover alone, we can spend 15, 20 minutes there talking about who's the book about, who's the author, what characters in there. My boys are a big fan of Thomas the Train, and so we can just sit and talk about who's the train, what train is this, who's, what's going on with Thomas, and what colors, are on the cover. And then when we get inside the book, then each page is a different discovery. It could, I'm starting to read, and they'll stop me there and ask me, "Look at Mommy, what is he doing there? Oh, did he fall in the mud?" So it's very interactive. We discuss, like I said, the characters, the colors that they're wearing, what's going on, if it's a dark day, if it's a light day, if the character is happy or sad, and things of that nature.
Wow. Well, thank you again, and I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us, and we'll hope to see you again soon, coming back on.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity once again.
Okay, great. Thanks. Based on today's interviews, the top 5 suggestions that caregivers can use to improve their time reading with their children 30 minutes a day are: number 1, make reading engaging and fun. Let the child pick the book, and let them read to you the parts of the book they know. Number 2, actively involve the child in reading and make it personal to the child. Act it out through dancing, singing, and even puppets. Number 3, discuss various parts of the book and check for understanding. Ask for characters. Predict what's going to happen next. Choose an ending. Who's the author? Who's the illustrator? Number 4, remember that you don't necessarily have to read for 30 minutes straight. You can even break the session down into multiple shorter sessions if you wish. Number 5, as a caregiver, role model reading yourself on a regular basis. Literacy's everywhere. It's outside, billboards, magazines, cookbooks, newspapers. You choose. This is Becky with Commitment to Kids, and I would like to thank our 3 guests, Bridget, Kathy, and Aisha, for coming on to the show and sharing their expertise with our audience. Thank you for joining today's episode of Commitment to Kids. For information and suggestions about further topics for this show, you can contact me at www.creativeconnectionenterprise.com. This is Becky from Commitment to Kids asking you to tune in next time when we will be talking with experts about choosing the best child care services to suit your child's needs. And remember, we're responsible for the child's health, safety, and well-being within our care and throughout our communities. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.